Hey, so today it's Thursday morning. I'm in a wading pool. It's hot and humid here in San Antonio. But you know what I thought? I thought, hey, let's do a special treat. And why don't I take you to downtown San Antonio? Like, I get phone calls every single day of people moving here and they want to know what downtown life is like. And there's no better way to do it than just show you around. So check this out. This is a wading pool that's in the New Hemisphere Park. We're right on downtown. Right to my left right here is the tower, which was created in the 1968 World Fair. And yeah, there's just so many people just come out here. Right now it's Thursday morning, so there's nobody here except for a couple of tourists. And yeah, but we're gonna go downtown. I'm gonna show you all the iconic places like the Alamo. I'm gonna show you, some parks. I'm gonna show you where you can live, where you could park, eat, and the whole nine. 20 million people a year visit San Antonio, Texas, and I'm gonna show you why they're coming here. So stick around so we can get to this vlog right now. All right, guys, so the first spot we're gonna hit is one of my favorite places. It has a little splash pad for your kids to play in and to cool down when it's a nice hot San Antonio day. But there's also places you can sit down, drink, and eat, and have a good time as an adult. So let's head on over here. We're going to Yanaguana Park. So Yanaguana Park is, again, it's fairly new. People like to go in there, and it's especially the splash pad, but there's also a little park so the kids can actually go in there and play on the swing set. There's, they got these really nice, a big chess board on the ground, and with some big chess pieces that you can play chess on. They have some table tennis tables made out of concrete. You can actually, play table tennis and all kinds of stuff. Or it's just, want to sit down and read a book and just be outdoors, people watching. There's no better place to do it than here. Now, one of my favorite spots in the Yanaguana area is going to be this one restaurant right here. It's called Box Street. And if you ever go to Box Street, it's really, really good. Like, they have some insane waffles and chicken and waffles, and they have some other great food. But mimosas, if that's your thing, then definitely come out here to Box Street, because during brunch, you can come out here, have a good meal, hang out with your girlfriends, hang out with your boyfriends or whatever, and just have a real good meal. Great service, and definitely worth the time. The vibe that this place has is pretty awesome. And if you're looking to move into downtown San Antonio, there's actually some apartments right up on top of this Box Street. So you can move into some of those apartments fairly easy, fairly cheap, and then you can have this entire environment at your disposal downstairs from your apartment. So let's keep walking over here to Yanaguana Park. As you can tell, like I said, it's a little park where people come out, they walk their dogs, the children come out here and play. But look at this. This is right in downtown San Antonio, but it's lush, it's green. There's just, it doesn't feel like you're downtown in a downtown area. But especially if you got little kids, you got toddlers that want to come out here, and you maybe live downtown and you want them to expend some energy, then bring them down here. They can come play. You can sit down, watch them. And a little bit further out, we're going to actually go to where there's some restaurants and some bars that you can go and have drinks and enjoy yourself. So check this out. One of the things that I like about this park is, if you know who Gaudi is, we learned about Gaudi when we went on a trip to Spain, and these park benches are reminiscent of the Gaudi style. So look at the tile work, and they're just, just bring so much stuff to San Antonio, like a lot of culture, the architecture. So if you don't know who Gaudi is, then definitely look him up. But check out these benches right here. These are pretty cool. You got I don't know if that's a cat, a panther, or whatever this is. So this, the one thing about this playground, like most playgrounds, if you look at me, they're really spongy. So if your kids, your kids are equipped to fall down and hit their head and stuff, but look at how spongy this is. So if your kids fall down, you don't have to worry about them cracking their head open or anything like that. There's also some wood chips that'll, help them break the fall and, be as safe as possible. But yeah, let's keep walking over here. Oh, over here, like past me, there's those table tennis that the tables that I told you about for playing table tennis. You can play table tennis there. There's some foosball. You can sit out here, play checkers. You could play chess, you know, or just kind of hang out and people watch. There's always people here, so there's always something to do or something to watch or someone to watch. Of course, they have some public bathrooms, so if you have to use you know, the services, they're going to be there for you. Right over here is what I was talking about, the chess and checkers, where you can play chess or checkers. The actual pieces aren't out right now, but right here is the area you could play that. There's a little butterfly garden right here, so if you like butterflies or your children want to learn about butterflies, they can come out here. These flowers right here, you know, attract butterflies. Let's see if we see any today. It might be too early for butterflies. Oh, there's one right there. Right here, look. right next to a dove. But yeah, look, you see all these are plants that attract butterflies, so it's pretty cool. All right, and the splash pad is over here. So if we walk this way, we can see where the splash pad is at. It's not on right now because there's not too many people here right now, but the splash pad is right here to our left. I wish I could turn it on so you could see, but basically right here, water shoots out of these little things right here. Water will shoot out and your children run around and they just play on here and get wet and have a good time. And what you can do is you can come out here, you know, you can sit right here, watch your children play, and at the same time, you can have yourself a little beverage, you can have yourself a little picnic. You have this nice grassy area right here, you know, taking the sun, and then check out the view. Like, you have these apartments. San Antonio's done a really good job about incorporating artwork into everything that we have here in downtown. So you're gonna see a lot of murals. Actually, one of my agents, her husband, gets commissioned to do these murals. So it's pretty cool that he's being able to express his art in that way, to where he could put it on walls and stuff like that. And if you're coming downtown and you want to be in a Yanaguana, and let's say that, for instance, you don't want to come in your bathing suit, that's okay, because look, we have some changing stations right here where you can come and change your bathing suits. So you come in here, change your bathing suit, and voila! Wouldn't it be cool if I came out with a bathing suit? Well, I don't have one, so, but as you're sitting here enjoying, you know, your children are enjoying the splash pad, there's a couple of restaurants that are tucked away right behind these vines right here. This one right here is called a paleteria. So paleteria is basically, it's an ice cream. It's a Mexican ice cream. It's their flavor, their mango, their pineapple, their chocolate. My favorite is strawberry. You can buy a paleta, and then the restaurant right over here, that one, that restaurant is Dough. So Dough specializes in Italian food, wine. It's a real good food. But if that's not something that you want, then over here we have the Bombay Bicycle Company. So the Bombay Bicycle Company has, you know, hamburgers. They have, you know, hot dogs and that kind of stuff. So you can eat that type of food over there in at the Bombay Bicycle Company. And then there's, I think, a coffee shop over here. So if you want coffee, which I don't know why you'd want coffee in San Antonio because it's 1,000 degrees here, but you can definitely get coffee there. And here's another cool thing. Like, we have these water fountains, but look, we have some for Fido too. So if Fido comes with you, you can give them some water too. So real pet friendly. This is Yanaguana Park. Like, it's right next to the Hemisphere Park. And if that's not what you want to do, we're going to head over across the street. We're going to go to La Villita, which is the oldest neighborhood in San Antonio. So this is kind of like a neighborhood tour as well. So let's head on over to La Villita. So we're walking towards La Villita now, and we're gonna walk past this one theater. It's called the Magic Theater. So they have all these little plays, and they have different things for children. They're kind of based for children. So if that's something that, you know, you're interested in, maybe you've had, you know, enough of the park, or you want to do something different, you can walk over here to the Magic Theater and enjoy some of their shows. right now, let's see, what do they have going on? Be Your Own Hero. So Be Your Own Hero is what's playing right now. Again, it's a real great place to bring your children and experience the theatrics that San Antonio has to offer. Another thing is, you can tell right now there's a lot of construction going on in San Antonio, and you know, we're always growing, so there's going to always be some construction, something being built, but you know, it's all to make it better for everybody that moves here and for everybody that lives here as well. So behind me, there's this hotel. It's called the Fairmont Hotel. Hopefully you can hear me over all this construction going on. But believe it or not, this hotel right here used to sit in a different location, which is over here. We're going to go later by the River Center Mall, which is closer to the Alamo. But they literally took this building, they picked it up off its foundation, they put it on wheels, and they took the building from maybe 4 or 5 blocks away all the way to its current location. This was one of the biggest ordeals that downtown San Antonio had. It took them weeks to move this. I think it was just moving like so many inches a day. Like, it just took forever. I may be exaggerating, I don't know, but look it up. Fairmont Hotel, San Antonio, Texas, moving from one location to the other. You'll find all that information. So right next door to it is La Vita. It's where we're headed right now. So let's go take a look. So La Vita means little village, right? And you can tell right here that there's just so many things that this place has right here. So we're going to take a look at all this stuff right here. And one thing is going to be the Arneson River Theater. So let's go ahead and follow me. So La Villita, like I said, is one of the oldest communities here in San Antonio, and it's actually the location. If you've seen my videos and I talk about NIOSA, Night and Old San Antonio, this is where it happens. So this area that we're standing in right now, this is where they do the country music. So they have a country music stage set up. You know, there's booths all around here, people eating, you know, fiesta, what I call fiesta food, and also, you know, drinking beer, having a good time. There's this permanent coffee bar that they just put here, which is pretty cool. I mean, look, nothing says San Antonio like something like this. Hey, Mom. So yeah, you're gonna find a lot of stuff like that here in San Antonio. But yeah, so this is all where they have the country music stuff. And then as we walk through this little village, there's gonna be little shops that sell, you know, San Antonio type of stuff. You know, like you saw that right there. So there's a little church. Let's go take a look at this church right here. There's a little church right here. It's an old, you know, an old church. There's a bunch of shops and all kinds of things to do here. So if you just want to take a stroll, take in some history, there's a lot of history in all these buildings here because they are so old. You can come out here, read that. But I want to show you one of the coolest parts of La Villita, which is the Arneson River Theater. So during Fiesta Week, all this entire street is just lined up with booths and people, you know, coming out here, getting together, enjoying themselves, having a good old time. There's a little area here we're going to move past in a minute. They play some Tejano music. There's the building itself is a bunch of German inspired. They have shows, they have music, they have German food. So all the different communities or all the different types of groups that gathered here in San Antonio, they honor all of them. So there's Polish food, there's German food, there's Asian food, there's all kinds of food. But check out this here. If you've never been to San Antonio and you've never heard of the Arneson River Theater, you might recognize it when we get down there. This is a lot of movies have been shot here, and I can't remember for the life of me. I think Jennifer Lopez, Jennifer Lopez during the movie Selena was proposed. I think it was that bridge right there, maybe a bridge over there. But here's the Arneson River Theater, where during Fiesta especially, I mean, this place gets packed out. You know, we have the river parade that goes through. So these river barges right here, if you want to know about San Antonio and the history and all that good stuff, jump on one of those river barges and they're going to tell you everything you need to know about San Antonio. But yeah, this river theater is a pretty cool place to be. So let's head on down to the Riverwalk. The Riverwalk is one of the main reasons people come to San Antonio. Remember I said 20 million people visit here? This is one of the reasons they do. And before I forget, take a look at this hotel right here. It's called the Hilton Palacio del Rio. If you notice, the rooms are just little squares. Believe it or not, this building was constructed off-site. So they literally built every room somewhere away from downtown. They put all the furniture in it. Everything was assembled. And then when they brought it downtown here to where it's currently at, they just stacked them up like Legos. So that's phenomenal. They did the entire building off-site and then put it together here. My kid would have a blast with that. So yeah, so we're here at the Arneson River Theater. We made it down the stairs. We didn't kill ourselves. But here's a fun fact. I used to literally work at the Hilton Palacio del Rio when I was growing up. This is way before I joined the Air Force. I used to be a waiter there. And one of the funniest things is to always see people coming out here. Obviously, I work during the weekends and stuff, and people would get so drunk, some people would fall into the river. Like, it's not even funny. And they're like, help, help. And we'd be like, hey, just stand up. Like, it's not that deep. You just got to stand up and you're good to go. But yeah, so this whole Riverwalk is just lined with all kinds of restaurants, all kinds of bars. There's a bar right in the Hilton that's called Dirty Nelly's. If you want to have a good time, go to Dirty Nelly's. But one thing that's for sure is they will pick on you. So when you're in there, get ready to be roasted a little bit because it will happen. So right here, this is, I talked about the river barges. This is Rio Rio. This is where you can take one of those river barges. And during Christmas, they actually will set up some tables here where you can stop and they have a meal, they have Santa Claus, you can take photos, and then you sit on those tables, they block it off, and then you can watch the river parade as people go through on the river. So that's something that if you want to watch the river parade, you want to have dinner with your family, you want them to do some crafts and maybe have photos with Santa Claus and all that stuff, this is the place to go. It's right across the street from the Hilton Palacio del Rio. This is where I used to work, right here in this restaurant. So I know this very well. I've spent a lot of time in this area, you know, working, obviously. This is before I joined the military. So look, you can actually see right here how shallow the water is. You can see right there, right? So people would fall into the water and then they'd start to panic and we're like, hey, just stand up. It's not that deep. So don't make it a big deal. But yeah, I mean, it's still for the effect, right? People are like, oh, help me, help me. One of the oldest restaurants also in San Antonio is right here with this restaurant with all these different colored umbrellas. It's called Rio Rio. So if you want some Mexican cuisine, that's a place to go. So this whole Riverwalk is just lined with restaurants. It's lined with all kinds of activities, you know, all kinds of places that you can go. But one of my most favorite parts is this thing up here. It's called the Friendship Tower. So you look right over here, you have the Friendship Tower. That was donated to us by France. And it's a symbol of our friendship, I guess. But we're gonna head up to the top street so we can take a look at that. After that, we're gonna head on to the famous Alamo so you can see how insignificant it really is. Like, a lot of people talk about the Alamo and they think it's this really big thing. It's not that impressive, but hey, let's go take a look. Maybe it's because I lived here my entire life, so maybe I'm just downplaying it. So as you can tell, we're like really, I mean, we're making a lot of headway with where we're going. But if you don't like walking and you want to get around a lot quicker, you can rent one of these scooters here and you could drive all over San Antonio and check out the scenes a little bit quicker. But I always like to walk just because it's a lot easier. to walk and to navigate traffic and all that. But let's go ahead and walk this way. We're gonna go by that Friendship Tower and then make our way over to the Alamo. Here's another thing I want to point out. If you come to the Riverwalk and maybe you're in a wheelchair, or maybe you can't navigate stairs, you have bad knees like I do, there's an elevator right here. Remember, it's right across the street from the Friendship Tower. You can go down to the Riverwalk on this elevator. We got a guy over here at McDonald's mean mugging us. He's looking at us like he wants to rob us. He doesn't want to, but I'm just saying. Or maybe he does. I don't know. He keeps looking at us. So if you like fine cuisine, we got McDonald's right here. That's a guy right there mean mugging us right there. So, all right, let's go ahead and let's be careful. Let's not get mugged. I'm joking. They're not going to mug us. Trust me. Would you want to mug me? So here's a nice view. You have the Friendship Tower next to the Tower of Americas, 1968. This one, I don't know, it was like most recently, not too long ago. So those are two iconic things that are here in downtown San Antonio that you can see. And once you see them, you're like, yep, you're in downtown San Antonio. But to the left is the Alamo. So we're gonna go take a look at what's going on there. I know they got a lot of construction going on. So I'm not sure how close we're going to get to it. It's actually, to be honest with you, it's been a while since I've been at the Alamo, probably been about a year. So I know that there's a lot of construction going on. We're going to go check it out, see if we can get to it or how close we can get to it. If anything, the worst case scenario is they're going to have, a rendering of what it's going to look like once it's done. But I'm pretty sure we'll be able to see the Alamo through all this mess right here. So one of my favorite places to come downtown whenever my wife and I are just hanging out, and we like to go to, to music venues and to have drinks and all that stuff, is this place right here, Pat O'Brien's. If you come here during, St. Patrick's Day, you are going to have a good old time. Like Pat O'Brien's, they go all out. They have all kinds of drinks, and it's just a really, really cool bar. They do serve some food, but you don't go there for the food. You go there for the drinks. So you have these stores lining the side of the street where you can buy like souvenirs and all kinds of stuff. You can spend your money. You can buy hard hats like these ladies right here. Look at that. I don't know what those hard hats were about, but anyway, you can buy all kinds of souvenirs for your loved ones. If you're living in San Antonio, you're probably not going to want to buy any souvenirs. Oh man, they got some of those large hats that I was looking for. I already bought one, but. Oh good, there's a rendering right here of what it's going to look like when it's done. So let's take a look at it real quick. All right, so I don't know if you can see this, but we're standing right there. The Alamo is right here, and yeah, they're just doing all kinds of construction. You can see past this. Let's go check this out, see what we can see. That wasn't a very good rendering of what it's going to look like when it's done, but we'll see. So you have these little areas like it's called the Mirror Maze. You had Ripley's Believe It or Not. You have all kinds of, it's Ripley's Illusion Lab. So you can come out here, and I'm not too much into that stuff, but if you want to do that, you can definitely come out here and enjoy some of that stuff. You can tell it's like really busy right now. The people are waking up, they're coming out, they're doing their thing. These are tourists. We have all this construction going on, but we're gonna get around it here in a minute. And I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to see the Alamo right now in a minute. You hear all that construction? You know what that sounds like? Money. Tourists coming to look at the Alamo. And there it is, folks. Look at that. How impressive is the Alamo? So all these stores right here got closed down because they're going to redo all of this stuff right here. But there used to be a bunch of stores in this area, and there's a post office right across the street over there. You can see that's a post office right there. But what you've been waiting for is the Alamo. It's right here. Check it out. So I feel like such a tourist being out here in the Alamo. Even though I've lived here my entire life, I still don't know if there's a basement. Pee Wee Herman said that there was, so there must be one. But anyway, here's the Alamo. Like, it's not really that big, but people like just gravitate to it. And I got it. Like, there's a lot of history and stuff like that. But I want to tell you something that a lot of people don't know is if you see this hotel right here, right behind me, that one right there, that's the Emily Morgan Hotel. That is one of many hotels that are considered to be haunted. I've actually stayed there and I've heard stuff that I'm convinced it is haunted. But there's another one, and I don't know if you could see it. It's like right over here behind these trees. It's the Minger Hotel. I used to work at the Minger Hotel as well. I worked at the Hilton, I worked at the Minger, and during Fiesta Week, that's where they have all the coronations, they have all the parties for all these, different associations. And I had to literally live there for the entire week because we were working almost 24/7. That is haunted. So if you want to come to San Antonio and you want to stay in an interesting hotel, those are two haunted hotels that you got to stay at, right? If you don't want to stay at that, then there's the Hyatt Hotel right here behind me. It's the one right there with the brown windows. The Hyatt Hotel is not haunted. It's too new to be haunted. I think the older hotels are the ones that are mostly haunted. But I want to walk over this way. We're going to go down Houston Street. There's a theater there that's a Majestic Theater. It's an awesome theater. They have all kinds of plays. They have, comedy shows. The Air Force Band of the West plays there. It's a great time. So let's go head on over that way. So we're walking down Houston Street right now. It's one of the busiest streets in San Antonio downtown. It's lined with different restaurants, different hotels, different bars. Here's another option that I want to show you real quick. These are B-cycles. So if you don't want to do a scooter, you want to jump on a bicycle and still get some exercise, you can jump on one of these. You can rent them. And there's different locations though. For these, you have to actually stop at certain locations and park them where they're at. So there's a map, I think, right over here that'll show you where you can get these. Yep, right here. So you can go down this, all these B-cycle locations. We're here downtown. You can drop them off here. I've done a video of Southtown in the King Williams area. They go all the way down the river, all the way to the south side, which is right over here. I think this one's Confluence Park right here. But if you want to just take a trail and get some exercise, then B-cycles are definitely a good option for you to do. But again, just keep in mind that you have to drop them off in certain locations. How cool is that? Look at this. This used to be a Woolworths. Who knows what a Woolworth is? Do you know what Woolworths is? Woolworths was an old store, or it's an old store. I don't even know if they exist anymore, but this used to be one. That's just how old these buildings are. They've been around forever, but obviously we repurpose them. There was a time that downtown San Antonio was there was nothing here, like nobody. It was a ghost town. Not even tourists would come down here. And that's what a lot of people, when they call me, they always say, hey, Jesse, is it dangerous downtown? And I'm like, no, it's not dangerous. Like, it's really safe down here. There are some alleyways that I would stay out of, but you're gonna know. And if you can't recognize an alley that you should stay out of, you probably need to get mugged, okay? So you can learn your lesson. Just kidding. Nobody deserves to be mugged. But for real, like, you can tell, like, you look at something, you're like, that doesn't seem safe. If it doesn't seem safe, guess what? Don't go in it. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of things to do down here. There's a restaurants. Like I was telling you, we're walking towards the theater. And then after the theater, we're going to go a couple of blocks down. Check this out. I just saw this. Let's look at this over here real quick. I want to show you. Remember I was telling you about incorporating art into, downtown and the scene and all this. So I just talked to you about the Hyatt Hotel. That's where we're walking towards. And this is the first time I see this. That's why I'm kind of walking over here, because I want to take a look at it. But check this out. In the middle of nowhere, boom, art. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Like, we're really embracing the art scene and putting stuff like this. I know I've been to a couple of cities in the recent months. We were in Chicago, we were in New Orleans, and a lot of the big cities around the United States are really embracing artwork. And we do the same thing. Like, there's other places that I'll show you in other videos where there's a lot more, it's kind of graffiti type art, but this one looks like a painting, right? Looks pretty nice. So let's go back to Houston Street. So before we go any further, let me show you something real quick. Right behind me, right here, if you keep going down this street right here, you're gonna end up at the Pearl. If you haven't seen my video about the Pearl, then take a look at the link. It's up here. Look at the Pearl. If you go down the street, that's Broadway. Broadway is an up and coming area. Like, there's a project that's going to happen right across the street from the Pearl. My wife was just telling me about different restaurants that are coming there. It's just going to be, it's getting re-energized with all these businesses and all that. So you're going to be able to see a lot of that stuff in future videos. So let's go ahead and come on over here to the theater. Hey, check this out. You want to get a little circle of diabetes? Voodoo donuts. I'm joking about the diabetes, but Voodoo donuts, like, sugar galore, right? I remember when this thing opened up, like, people just went crazy over it. Like, it was just lines and lines of people trying to get donuts. Now, not so much, but I haven't had a Voodoo donut. Have you? If you have, put in the comments below. I want to know what your experience was. Let's keep walking. I just saw one of my most favorite places, and we're gonna have to just jump in there and take a look. So it's called La Panaderia. Panaderia means bakery in Spanish. So we're gonna go across the street. I'm gonna show you the deliciousness, the simpleness that they sell, and we're gonna buy some so I can eat it in front of you, and I can tell you all how yummy it is. So let's go check it out. Hello. All right, so as you can tell, it's a hopping place. Like, a lot of people like to come here. My youngest son, likes to eat the conchas, which is a soft bread with some it's a sugar coating on it. It's delicious. Like, it's phenomenal. You're gonna love it. Well, I don't know if you're gonna love it. I'm gonna love it because I'm gonna be eating it, but you're gonna watch me love it. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna be able to see what they look like, and then that way, when you come to San Antonio, you can actually try some yourself. What I like about this place is that it's a very, welcoming atmosphere. Like, they have this community table here, so you can sit down at this community table if you have to. If you can't find a seat by yourself, like, it's not uncommon. I lived in Europe, And in Europe, if there's two people in a four-person table and two more people show up, they're gonna sit you with them. So it's kind of the same vibe here, kind of a community. So you can sit there, be there with other people and enjoy your meal. Hey, maybe even get to know somebody, meet somebody, a new friend, whatever, right? The one thing about this place is they do take long. I noticed there's one by my house, and what they do is they give you the whatever the breads you want, but they have one cashier. I think they should have maybe two cashiers to speed up the process because most of the time you're just waiting for somebody to make a choice. Man, it's funny to me because like, have you ever been to a drive-through and somebody pulls up and let's use In and Out as an example. If you know In and Out, they sell burgers, right? Like that's all they sell, burgers. And it still takes people forever to order. Like they're like, "Can I take your order?" And they're like, you want a burger, man? You want one patty, two patties, or three patties, right?" Um, but people just, I don't know why, they wait till the last minute to decide what they want to eat, and then they hold up the line. So I think that's a little bit of what we got going on right here, and hopefully people would just order what they want and then move on. But it's going to be a minute. So the one thing that I was telling you, these conchas that my son likes to eat, there's different flavors. So you have a vanilla flavor, you have a chocolate flavor, and they just came out. There's a strawberry flavor, and then I think they just came out with like a cherry flavor. So it's a darker red. It doesn't matter what flavor you get. It's just loaded with sugar, and they're very tasty. The bread on the inside is so soft, and then with the complementing it with the sugar on top, it's just delicious, right? And that lady just walked by with a mocha or a cappuccino or something like that. Maybe I'll get one of those too. I don't know if you know this, but I like to eat. So when you come to San Antonio, you move here, and we work together, I would definitely share a meal with you. As a matter of fact, this is something that I like to do. I haven't said it on the videos, but my favorite thing to do is barbecue. And when I say barbecue, I like to smoke briskets. And this is what I offer my clients. No pressure. If you buy a home with me and I close it with you, I will make you a brisket for your housewarming party. You can take that to the bank, and they're delicious. So if you need help, you're moving to San Antonio, you don't know where to live. If you haven't seen my video of the top 10 most dangerous neighborhoods, you got to see it. There's not only 10 neighborhoods in San Antonio that are dangerous, there's a lot more. So hit the QR code right here, schedule a discovery call so we can talk and see what you need for your family. And we'll definitely get you placed in the right location in San Antonio so where you feel safe, you're in good schools, and it just works with your budget and all that good stuff. But check out these conchas here. They're pretty good. Hey, check this out. They got the double flavor. So if you can't decide whether chocolate or vanilla, you can have one and eat both flavors. Here's another thing. I love strawberry. So put that in your notes. So I'm going to take the strawberry concha. So I just been schooled. The pink one is not strawberry. It is a vanilla concha, but it's for breast cancer awareness. So a portion of the proceeds go to breast cancer awareness. And my son, my cameraman, just got a donut. What? Who is your father? What are you doing? All right. Well, can't win them all. So I know the lighting's bad, forgive me, but we're sitting here at one of the community tables. And like I said, I just learned that this one was a vanilla concha, which I had no idea. Even my youngest son thinks it's a strawberry, but we won't tell him, right? Let me bite into this bad boy. Show you, like, it's nice and hard on the outside, but the inside, it's squishy on the inside. It's very, very soft. It's awesome. I like it. I'm gonna eat this, drink my cappuccino. Like, check out my cappuccino. There's my cappuccino, along with my concha. I'm gonna enjoy this, and then we'll get back on the road. So we'll see you in a bit. I feel like a little piggy eating this concha. There's this. The sugar part came off. That's the part that my son really likes to eat, is the sugar. Man, I'm not gonna lie, that was delicious. So we're gonna go ahead and pick up and continue. on our walk. We're gonna go by two theaters. I'm gonna show you one of the oldest bars in San Antonio, and then we might wrap it up, but don't go anywhere. Let's go check out these two places before we take off. Man, that was delicious. Holy smoke, it's starting to rain. I didn't expect this, but let's go ahead and keep walking, get through this rain here, and show you those two theaters. Fortunately for us, there's some cover where we're gonna walk, but yeah, let's try to get out of the rain. All right. Well, that's what we get for stopping and getting some concha from La Panaderia. So real quick, right across the street right here, you see this Palm restaurant. I'm not sure, I don't know about the story behind it, but that is a really good restaurant. If you like to eat steak, and like I'm a steak guy. So my wife and I will have a date. We'll go out there, we'll eat. It's a real nice dining experience. A lot of famous people have gone to go eat there. But if you're gonna go eat there, you better be ready to drop about $400 to $600 for two people to eat there. But I mean, it's a really good place to have a nice steak. It's right across the street from the theater. As a matter of fact, my wife and I went there before we went to the theater and had a good time. So let's keep walking over here so I could show you the theater that I'm talking about. So the theater here is a Majestic Theater. It's a really nice place. It's a good venue. They have comedy shows. They have plays. They have all kinds of events that go on in here. So it's an old theater, but they have all kinds of events here. It's one of the nicer ones. But actually, they're all nice. All the theaters that we have here. But one of the things that they have here is during Christmas, the Air Force Band of the West actually performs here, and what do you call it? They put on a concert, and it's a free concert. It's active duty military that are actually playing the instruments, because believe it or not, the Air Force, I know there's a lot of inter-service joking and all that stuff, but we actually have a band, and they're pretty good. So they have a theater there. Another hotel that's an old hotel is the Gunther Hotel, which is right here across the street from me. That's a nice place to stay. We've stayed there before when I was stationed somewhere else, and we would come back to San Antonio just to hang out. And then behind it, actually not behind this one, but behind the Panaderia, where we were just at, is a St. Anthony's Hotel. That's another nice hotel that we've stayed at when we would come visit when we were stationed, overseas. So let's go in. Now we're going to take a left here. We're going to another theater that's an old theater. I used to come out here when I was a kid. My mom didn't know, but I would get on the bus and I would come downtown to the Aztec Theater and watch movies with my friends. We're standing at the Aztec Theater. This is an older theater that has been here forever. Like I said, I used to jump in the bus and I would come, downtown with my friends. I think I was about 10 years old, and we would come downtown. We would watch movies at the theater. But one of the things that I wanted to point out is right here behind me, there's this canopy. The canopy is a bar. So it's not a rooftop bar, but it's a bar that's on top. It's open air. You can actually see that lady over there. You could actually sit and look out the window, or you could sit in an open space where you can actually, enjoy the weather. But it all overlooks downtown, the Riverwalk, and it's a nice place that if you just want to you're on a date night with your wife or your husband, you want to have a good time, that's a place that I definitely recommend. All right, so it started raining on us. Did not expect that. There's just so many more things that I wish I could show you about downtown San Antonio. And like I said in the beginning of the video, people call me all the time and ask me, what is it like living in San Antonio? So that was downtown. There's so many more things to do, but the rain came while I was eating my concha. I didn't expect that. But anyway, if you want to know more about San Antonio, you're moving here, then consider me a resource. Check out one of these videos here. There's tons of information. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to tap on that bell so you're notified every time I put out a new video. And also know and remember that I'm a resource for you. So give me a call, send me a text, send me an email, send me a smoke signal. I'll answer them all. Know that I have your back when you're moving to San Antonio. We'll see you on the next video.